17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. 24 weeks until the spring Caley Bulb Show. I don't know why I'm doing this. Well, no time to cry about it, and I suppose I'm entering the Caley Spring Bulb Show in 2026. Not really of my own initiative. I was convinced by Eli from Eli and Kid. But I'm doing this because it's going to be a bit of a challenge. A lot of a challenge, to be honest. But I'm actually looking forward to it. It's very stressful. Just now I'm just knee-high in divisions, in type of bulbs, and timing. It's a learning curve, but it's good fun. So a few weeks ago, I was invited to join Eli as well as another few content creator, Instagram and YouTube, to do a bit of a workshop at the Caledonian Horticulture Society. Stunning setup, by the way. If you've not visited them, go and pay them a visit. As well worth a look. And we have planted some bulbs together. I was meant to have some very specific bulbs that I have specifically selected for the show. Unfortunately, the delivery got delayed and they actually arrived while I was already in Edinburgh. So I had to do a bit of a rush and go and get some backup bulbs from a local garden centre. And turns out that, I don't know, I got emotionally attached to them. So they are here and I think I will keep them until the show. Hopefully I will be able to enter them as well, but we'll see. The only issue is, since it's my very first time, I was really clever and I thought I'm just gonna go for 3 different types. Just 3. 3 types, 3 categories or 3 divisions, and that's fine. Nice and easy to start with. Well, I'm ending up now with not 3, but 7. And the worst of all, and I'll cover this in a minute, the worst of all, most of them are actually in intermediate categories. So there is a beginner category, just like myself, when you enter for the first time until you win, and then you move up to the intermediate. Well, I'm actually entering most of mine, I will be entering most of mine into the intermediate categories. So I'm jumping in the bath with the big boys. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is pretty scary for me. But you know what? I just picked the bulbs purely on their look. I didn't look, I've got the schedule here. If you want to get your hands on this, link is in the description and in the first pinned post as well. You'll have the description, which also show you, it's a bit small on here, but you'll see it but much better on a bigger screen. You have the different categories. And well, I didn't actually look at this until after I picked up the bulbs, although I was aware of that schedule. So I purely decided on what bulbs I was going to enter based on their look. And that is a terrible mistake to make, because like I said, I'm now stuck into the big boy division, and oh man, that's gonna be tough. That's gonna be tough. But you know what? I'm just gonna learn anyway, and well, I'll feel a bit less sad if I'm not winning anything. Before I tell you all about the bulbs I'm entering in the competition at different divisions, I figured that it would be quite good to show you my secret mix of compost. It's not particularly secret, I must say. It's a pretty standard mix. So the first thing that you need to know about this is it needs to be a really free draining compost. The idea is you don't want your bulb to rot. Pretty much, that's what it is. Some of those bulbs can be really expensive. The show one are, quite pricey. So, and it doesn't have to be, by the way. You could enter any bulbs. Obviously, division, I think it's 1 and 2 are pretty much more like the standard type. But you also have some specific cultivar in division 1 and 2. But anyway, you need a very free draining compost so it doesn't rot. So what I do is I basically just use my go-to Jack's Magic. That's usually what I get. I quite like the fact that it's a very fine and slightly gritty, medium as well. And for a generic multi-purpose compost, it's not often the case. If you watch my other videos, if you watch the last vlog that was released a few days ago, where I've put it up, all those plants, and I'm using, I think it's just a grocer basic mix, and is very woody, a lot of rubbish in there. Jack's Magic, it's usually very, very fine. I don't usually even have to sieve it or anything like that. So compost. Then for the drainage, I'm adding some perlite to it. We'll do this together in a minute. And then the secret ingredient, because you want your bulbs to develop roots as fast as possible. The sooner they will get their roots system developed, the sooner they will start popping up. But also you want a nice and strong root system, because it will support sometimes really big flowers, sometimes multiple flowers. And the last thing you want is your stem to grow and then break or fall to the side or bend over. You want something nice and straight and strong. So the thing that I'm adding for this is bone meal. Simple as that. It's not necessary, but I quite like to add a bit of bone meal to the mix, just to help the root system. So to spare you all the rattle and noise of me opening things, I've already opened everything. I've already put a bit of compost. So we've got the compost in here. So I'm going to add the perlite. And in my case, I believe this is 3 liter. So I'm going to add some more compost in it just to mix it all. But I'm going to have round about a 25-30 liter of compost in here. So the 3 liter should do the job. I'm hoping, because my garden center ran out of perlite. So that's literally all I can get just now. Don't do as I do, by the way. If you're using perlite, do it in a well-ventilated area. It does release a lot of dust, which gets to your lungs straight away. So make sure to do this in a well-ventilated area, or even better, wear a mask. So I'm not going to go over it too much just now, because I'm going to do another mix after and add some more of that. And I'm going to add some bone meal. So what I will do for this is sprinkle all over. And it's very scientifically precise. I'm going to put 2.5, break this one, 2.5 handful in this mix. I might need to add a bit more perlite to the mix. I'm going to do a bit at a time, because otherwise I'm not going to get to mix it properly. Obviously, I've already broken down that compost that I'm adding into it. You know, it's quite compact when you get it out of the bag, so please do that. It's not straight out of the bag in this case. I've just broken it all. Then I'm adding it to the bucket and then mixing it back in here. So if you've managed to make your mix in one big batch like this without spilling it all over the place, well, kudos to you. And if, like me, you've made this while coughing your guts because you forgot to open the door and then spilled everything in your coffee, well, then go and grab yourself a new coffee and we'll resume just after. Right, for this next part, I'm going to use my cheat sheet. I've got here prepared all the different divisions I'm entering because I'm completely lost and I've spent a lot of time trying to figure this out. Right, bear with me. So, the first one I've got, which is already planted, it's behind me, is Gentleman at Arms. So this one is Division 2. Division 2 being the large cupped. So as you can see, it's one flower to a stem. The cup is more than a third, but no more than a full size of the petals. Okay, see what I mean? That can be a bit complicated. Then we are moving up to Division 4. And obviously Division 4 was my favorite division because I've picked 3 different types out of the 7 that I'm doing in Division 4. So the Division 4 is the double. So they've got like those 3D petals and corona, you know, they're really nice and bushy. That's obviously why I've picked those ones over other ones. They're, I think, quite unusual. The first one, again, which has been planted a few weeks ago, is Sir Winston Churchill. Quite a stunning flower as well. The next one is Tahiti. Cracking one. I didn't know about this one, and then I realized after buying it that Eli has done it last year. And I think it's subliminal. I just saw it in last year's video and I thought, oh, I like that one. And when I saw it there, I was like, I'm buying it. So, Tahiti. And the last one, which is, well, don't tell my wife how much I paid for those. This is one I got from Farmer Gracie, and it's apparently a new one for this year, and it's called Dutch Lion. That's the first one I saw, and I thought, I need to do that. Then we are moving to Division 5, and Division 5 is the Triandrus. I believe you pronounce it that way. So basically, it's multiple flowers nodding, and then reflexed petals. So the petals are pushing their way out. And the one I'm doing, and again, it's one of those Farmer Gracie's one, which I'm going to sow today, or plant today with you guys, is Ice Wings. I mean, stunning. Absolutely, absolutely stunning. Then we have a Division 8. I believe it's pronounced Tazeta or Tazeta. So this one is like 3 to 20 flowers per stem. I would love to find one with 20, by the way. I need to investigate this. And it's fragrant. Those ones are called Canaliculatus. And they are lovely. They look like wee fried eggs. Like that. Love them. Then, for our final entry, we are moving to Division 9. So the Division 9 is Poeticus. Poeticus, they are white petal. They've got a short corona, short corona, and they're often with a yellow center and a red rim. And in this one, I went for Pheasant's Eye. It's quite a usual one in competition. I've seen this one done before, and in fact, I think a few of the guys are doing Pheasant's Eye this year. But I just love the look of it, so I had to do it. So I guess now what's left to do is planting them. When it comes to planting them, the rule is you should go for up to 3-liter pots. The reason is, obviously you can enter cut flowers, which is fine. They can come from anywhere. But if you enter pots, well, it just makes a bit of a standardized size. Now, the problem that I have is I've not got any more 3-liter pots. I've got those ones there behind me, but I only have 2-liter pots. So I think what I'll do is I'll put them in 2-liter pots just now. And then I might go in a day or two, get 3-liter pots and pot them up. Not that I have much hope that I'll be able to enter a full pot into the competition, but you never know. The reason for going for as big as you can is obviously because you have more soil, so you have more nutrient, more space for the roots to go through. So obviously if you go for a really small pot, then you have less space for the bulb to develop. And as I've explained earlier, the bigger the space, the bigger the root ball, and the bigger the root ball, the stronger the plant will be. The next thing that you need to look at is your bulbs, obviously. So you need to give them a wee squeeze. Make sure, obviously they're Farmer Gracie's, so it's unlikely that I'm going to have any issues with them, but need to make sure that they're quite nice and firm. If they're squishy, if they've got mold on them, white or green or blue sometimes, if they smell funny, if they look all wrinkly and dry, just bend them, discard them. They're no good. You want nice, firm bulbs. You want really good. I'm going to see if I've got any of those. But yeah, there we go. There's one. You want nice, firm bulbs. And you want the biggest bulb possible. So see if I take this one. So it's like a reject on it. Well, there's really two schools. You shouldn't take it off, or you should probably not even plant it and use it for the competition, because I'm going to break it off. But then once you break it off, then you leave a scar in here, which potentially could rot the bulb. The youngling ones is no good. It's not going to flower at all. It's very unlikely that it's going to flower straight away. So those ones, well, they either go in a pot and then you just use them for next year, because you can absolutely reuse them for the following year, if you know what I mean. Or more often than not, what I would say is plant it in your garden. So this one will not go in the compost there. I will put it at the side and they will go in the garden. Well, that's the bulbs all planted. So you may have noticed that when I was giving you the different divisions, I've only mentioned the one I'm entering and not all of them. Well, the main reason for that is, as I've mentioned, I'm brand new to this, and quite frankly, I've probably made mistakes explaining already the different categories I'm entering, because that's my understanding of them. So rather than saying something stupid, well, go and check this one out. So I've mentioned it's in the description. Link is there. You can download this directly from the Caley website. Obviously, I've got the paper copy. I've got the fancy copy that I was given at the workshop, but you can download this yourself. It gives you all the different categories that you can enter, and it gives you, well, direction to there and all the different divisions. So it's going to be the best way if you want to know all about the different divisions. So now the next step is to get a plunge build, and this will be part of the episode 3 of On You Grow for Show. I will show you how to build your own plunge. You can use buckets. I think Sandra is using some of those potato grow bags. It's a brilliant idea. Use that. But I'm going to build a bit of a raised planter. The idea behind this is I can actually reuse this after the show or once they come out of the plunge, which is round about Valentine's Day, and then I'll have this raised planter of some sort that will be left unused until, again, October, if I'm brave enough to go again for the Caley in 2027. So rather than leaving something untouched, unloved, and abandoned like that, I've got a bit of a plan to use it around the garden during that time. So I'm going to build one, but I'm going to build one out of pallet wood, because it's cheap, because it's easy to find, and because you can make it yourself. Well, that's it for episode 2. So make sure to like, subscribe, and tick the bell if you want to know more about this adventure. If you want to follow along, make sure to go and check the other videos on the channel as well. I'm sure you will find something interesting. If this is your first time on the channel and, well, YouTube randomly put you on this video, go and check that video out. It's going to tell you a bit more about it. For now, folks, that's me going to change for the second time my coffee, because it's again full of soil, and I'll see you next time. Bye.